how do you find dealing with distraction while you're speaking?
I don't mind. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. Yeah.
Have you selected any particular foreign language to learn while you're going through your educational process?
You know, I have tried to learn Spanish, as I said. In high school, I was required to take 2 different foreign languages, and Spanish just wasn't happening. So I took Latin and Swedish. So, oh my goodness. Any other questions?
People like Vanessa are future leaders, as we know. It does my heart good to know that many of them have had this kind of experience and have a perspective beyond the walls of their own homes and their own communities here in the United States. I think that we're fortunate in the Northwest to have the blend that we do of ethnic groups, of international groups. You go down to South Tacoma Way, which all of us do regularly, you see the sign in Korean that says Koreatown. Also, just yesterday I saw on the New York Times website a census map that's interactive where you can type in any zip code you want, then it will show you in colored dots the concentration of people of different ethnic groups and I think international groups for any one of the zip codes. When I clicked on an area just east of I-5 and just north of Silicon Boulevard, it was a veritable rainbow of colors. This made me feel very, very fortunate. Here at Clover Park, we do have many, many students who either are studying here and will return to other countries or who were born in other countries. One of them is with us this morning. I'm reminded of a saying over the door of Norland Library at the University of Colorado in Boulder when I did my undergraduate study. It says, "He who knows only his generation remains forever a child." I think the same thing can be said about he who knows only his own nation remains forever a child. You can see that these students are quite poised and capable. They answer questions well. They're prepared well. Our next speaker is no exception. This is Angela Garliyo, who will be talking about the U.S. Open coming to this area. This is not necessarily something that Angela has a background in, but she's done great research. Her fellow students have described her as bubbly, sweet, positive, self-motivated, has great teeth, helpful, organized, and a beautiful smile. Now, I might mention that Angela is one of 3 students who spoke last month, or earlier this month, I guess it was, to the State Board for Community and Technical Colleges at their meeting in Bellevue. So she already has some practice at this kind of lofty communication experience. I would also note that tomorrow, December 16th, is a special day. It is Angela's birthday. Angela.
Scott. Scotland. What does that remind you of? Does that remind you of beer, or does that remind you of golf? Well, most of you probably think it's golf because of the way I'm dressed, and there's a golf club and some golf balls nearby. How about the word for? When I was doing my research, I was really excited to finally learn where this word actually originated from. And back in the late 18th century, it is believed to be an abbreviation of before. You would have a caddy, and a for caddy, the caddy would be the person that would hold your golf clubs, because going through the golf course would be really, really hard. And you would have a for caddy that would be ahead of you so they can catch your golf balls. Because golf balls are really expensive, I found out that they originally started out being wooden balls. And when I purchased my own golf balls, I was like, okay. I was really excited to see there's numbers on it. And some of you are probably chuckling because you've been golfing, you know what the numbers are. But for me, with not all that experience with golf, I found out that numbers is just to distinguish your ball from of dimples that are on the ball. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. And what's really important about knowing your ball, what's really important is the U.S. Open, the golf championship in Chambers Bay in 2015. And I want to share with you a little bit about the history of Chambers Bay, the U.S. Open, and my opinion on how business is going to boom when 2015 happens. So, a little bit about history of Chambers Bay. I'm going to pass around a picture of it looked like in 1940 and 1950. All my information I found was on the Pierce County website. A lot of history about Lakewood, University Place, and Chambers Bay. It began to take shape over about 200 years ago. That was way before any of our times in South Puget Sound. And it's about 930 acres long, the shore of South Puget Sound. And from my understanding, all I know in my 22 years of living, it's always been a golf course to me. I live in Lakewood, so as far as I'm concerned. But as the picture goes around, and that's in 1940, 1950s, it was a timber and mining property, and it has been different properties, which I was really astounded at how many times it has changed. It was a paper mill, a Portolas Match Company, a major industrial center, a multiple lumber company, a railroad center, a county gravel mine, a bus barn, and a regional wastewater treatment plant. And now today, it's a world-class 18-hole golf course. And that's where our U.S. Open is going to be at Chambers Bay. And today, my main point is talking about the U.S. Open. I just want to give you a little snippet on a little bit of reason why they chose Chambers Bay. In February 7, 2008 is when the USGA, the United States Golf Association, announced that Washington is going to have the honor and awarded the 2015 U.S. Open. And I never thought I'd be so excited about golf, but I'm really excited for some reason. One of the world's best players, or a lot of the world's best players, are going to be here. I'm like, yay! In our backyard. And Washington's going to get put on the map again. And I found a little snippet from our governor, Chris Gregoire, and she says, Chambers Bay Golf Course is a jewel for the entire state of Washington and the Pacific Northwest. The U.S. Open and the U.S. Amateur Championships that we had last year, 2010, will be a wonderful opportunity to showcase the natural beauty of our state and share it with golf enthusiasts from around the globe, which is like really cool that I found that out. And another statement from one of the chairmen called Jim Hyler. He's a chairman on the USGA committee, and he also says this is the first time the U.S. Open has been to Washington, and we're confident that the golf course will provide a challenging test for the best players in the world, as well as a great spectator experience for those who attend the event and watch it online and TV. So for those that are in businesses around the area, my third main topic I wanted to share with you about the U.S. Open is business and revenue. How great is that? This is what the logo is going to look like in 2015. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the logo, but it's really exciting because for businesses in 2012, in 2013, 2014, any golf lovers that's going to attend this 2015 event is going to want that as their birthday present or a Christmas present. So think about that if you know anyone that loves golf. And even businesses that's in the area around the event site is going to have tons of publicity because people around the world, tourists, are going to want to visit Chambers Bay now that the U.S. Open in 2015 has been awarded it. And I just want to thank you for this amazing experience to speak in front of you. It's been a major privilege to talk to you about a subject I wasn't quite familiar with. And now that I have more insight about the sport and something coming into Washington, I gain a little bit more insight to what's happening in our state. Not only did I just learn about golf, but I learned about a lot of other things like the past of like Scotland and where they think where golf originally came from. And I want to leave you with one last thought. I'm not sure if you remember the story about the number on the ball, what distinguishes yours, but as us as people, what distinguishes you from other people in this course we call life.